Awake my heart. Power is the answer. In demonstration of the Spirit and power, 1 Corinthians 2:4. Some time ago, in the lounge of a swaying storm-beset Atlantic liner, I sat reading the opening chapters of 1 Corinthians and became so taken up with a certain feature in them that I even forgot the uncomfortable lungings of the vessel. It was the recurrence of that word power. 1:18:24 4-5. Why this emphasizes on power? Well, it is clear that the preaching of the cross was meeting with two forms of opposition, two antagonisms, which in one gaze or another have persisted to the present. There was the intellectual resentment of the cultured Greek. There was the religious resistance of the Judaistic Jew. But why those two blocks of opposition? It was because the cross offended the natural sinful pride of both. It offended the intellectual pride of the Greek because it would not allow him to devise salvation by his own wisdom. It offended the religious pride of the Jew because it would not allow him to gain salvation by his own moral merit. It has been the same ever since. Organized religion, when it assumes impressive outward dimensions or adopts a philanthropic humanitarianism, or garbs itself in aesthetic culture and ceremonial pageantry, easily wins the world's homage. When it offers divine prizes to those who bow and scrape to its ceremonies, or to those who give large financial support, or to those who build up a supposed self-merit by religious devotedness, and flatters human vanity and often becomes popular. But real Christianity is not merely a religion. It is the only divinely provided and authenticated way of redemption. The Christian church was never put into this world just to provide an additional institution of worship, but to give witness to specific truth which saves. The gospel makes available God's way of salvation through the substitutionary sin-bearing of his crucified Son. All men need salvation. Most men know their need of salvation. But this way of salvation through that sin-expiating cross has always been objectionable to the two large classes of people who are the present-day counterpart of those Greeks and Jews. How did Paul meet these two antipathies? Well, the notable feature is that he does not argue to the Greek the profound philosophy of the cross behind its seeming foolishness, nor to the Jew the moral sublimity of the cross behind its outward ugliness. No, he appeals to the power of the cross. It works. It really saves. 1:18:24-4. So when Paul preached Christ and him crucified, there was a demonstration of the Spirit and power. What does he mean? He means that the power was in the preacher and the demonstration in the hearer. This was the best of all reply arguments. It was living proof. The power and the demonstration might be resisted, but they could not be refuted. If we preachers today were as prayerful as Paul, the same power and demonstration would become operative again. And when the cross is thereby applied to the human soul by the Holy Spirit, it becomes indeed the power of God to save, to reconcile, and regenerate, to give peace, rest, victory, and to transform character. Oh, for more of that power, it is the greatest of all Christian apologetics.